Global markets are sending contradictory signals this week. Record capitalization and rapid consolidation in the technology sector are occurring alongside a significant June jobs miss and escalating geopolitical threats. This combination of equity highs and structural policy vacuums requires a strategic recalibration. Navigating the back half of 2026 involves balancing aggressive AI adoption against a darkening macroeconomic and regulatory landscape. This chart shows the global venture capital funding landscape for the first half of 2026, reaching a record $510 billion. Nearly half of that capital is concentrated in just two firms. OpenAI and Anthropic alone captured 43% of all global venture funding. Microsoft is moving to leverage this concentration through its new Frontier Company unit. The initiative invests $2.5 billion to embed 6,000 engineers directly inside enterprise client accounts to co-design and deploy custom systems. Concurrently, OpenAI has confirmed the GPT 5.6 tier lineup: Sol, Terra, and Luna, with the Sol model setting new performance benchmarks on the Terminal Bench 2.1. Large-scale AI development has transitioned from model training to direct enterprise integration. By placing engineers directly into accounts, technology providers are now competing for the high-margin implementation contracts traditionally held by global management consultancies. This split screen illustrates the current economic disconnect. On the left, the Dow Jones closed at a record 52,900. On the right, the June jobs report added only 57,000 positions, far below the expected 185,000. Facing this digital-first economy, legacy media is consolidating for survival. Paramount Skydance reached a $110 billion agreement to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery, beating out a rival bid from Netflix. Physical assets are being phased out across sectors. Sony announced it will end physical game releases by 2028, and FedEx has agreed to a $1.4 billion sale of its logistics arm to a French shipping giant. These moves indicate that legacy industries are aggressively stripping away physical and lower-margin assets to protect margins in a more consolidated marketplace. In the Middle East, massive crowds at state funerals for Iran's supreme leader are calling for retaliation, complicating the environment for indirect nuclear negotiations. Domestically, the Department of Government Efficiency hit its July 4th sunset date without a formal wind-down plan, leaving the status of thousands of federal layoffs and voided contracts unresolved. Further uncertainty stems from the scheduled July 24th expiry of Section 122 tariffs. A recent court ruling that the administration exceeded its authority has clouded the timeline for potential relief. These policy vacuums mean federal contractors and global importers are operating with significant blind spots. Until legal and executive clarity is restored, multi-year planning and supply chain contracting remain exposed to sudden regulatory shifts. Tracking the week ahead requires focus on three catalysts: the UN Global Dialogue on AI Governance opening in Geneva, the release of ISM Services PMI data, and the tightening countdown to the July 24th tariff expiry. Success this quarter requires a dual-track strategy, aggressively scaling technical integrations while maintaining highly defensive macro and supply chain positioning.